A street holds its breath. Dawn skims wet stones. Shutters stay shut. A black figure walks the center line. Measured steps, no hurry, no mercy. Glass eyes, stitched leather. A beak stuffed with sharp smells. The city watches through cracks, afraid to be seen. Hat, lenses, waxed coat, gloves, cane. The silhouette that says, "Plague has a uniform. Wood taps stone. Keep your distance." You've seen this bird-faced doctor haunt medieval memes. But this look isn't from 1348. It arrives 3 centuries later in the 1600s. So recognizable that artists mocked it while cities still burned with disease. Why a standard look? Because panic loves certainty. Councils and courts wanted a visible role. The city's doctor, unmistakable at a glance, the opposite of rumor. Break the costume apart and you find logic stitched to fear. A leather shell to shed filth, a cavity to hold strong aromas, straps and seams thick with wax, a cane that turns bodies into boundaries. Even the eyes were an argument, glass between you and the world, as if a window could filter death. So was it medicine or theater? Both. The outfit couldn't cure, but it could organize behavior. In a city on edge, performance is policy. If people move when you move and stop when you stop, you're already saving lives. Before germs, there was miasma, bad air that seeped from rot, damp, and crowded breath. If poison rode the wind, then changing the air became treatment. Hence the beak, an aromatic filter. Juniper, rosemary, cloves, camphor, even vinegar-soaked sponges. If it stung the nose, it felt like it worked. Tables filled with tools that made sense into barriers. Sachets to wear, oils to dab, beeswax to seal seams. Herbs had reputations older than microscopes, sharp, dry, warming. Each assigned a virtue in humoral medicine, each promised to counter foul air. And for the street, a pomander, portable, clean air, held to the face when you passed a door marked by rumor. Layer the pieces, hat, coat, gloves, cane, and the doctor becomes a moving quarantine line. Many plague doctors weren't freelancers. They were municipal hires. Councils drafted contracts, pay, lodging, servants, rules for quarantine, even who handled wills. Hazard pay was real. Some cities fronted money to lure a physician when others fled. Some doctors were seasoned, others ambitious graduates willing to risk a career on catastrophe. Their work generated numbers, lists of the dead, streets to seal, houses to fumigate. In a world without tests, the ledger was the lab. The suit turned that paperwork into a person you could obey. Could they heal the plague? Mostly no. They could do something else. Witness your will, certify a death, protect a widow from a fight over property. Treatments followed the textbooks of the time, bleeding, poultices, cooling and warming the body to chase balance. Imperfect, but care when care was scarce. They supervised smoke and air, juniper on braziers, sour washes, linens aired in light, cleanliness as incense and ritual. And some taught, dissected, argued. Disaster forces knowledge to grow up fast, even when it grows in the dark. Where fear swells, markets follow. Aromatic sachets, special fumigations, miracle powders, some useful, some profitable, some both. Satirists had a field day. Dr. Beak, scaring the living and charging the dying. The beak became a billboard, a virtue to some, of grift to others. Yet the public wanted two opposite things at once: reassurance and distance. A nod from the doctor calmed a crowd. The cane kept it from touching him. Behind the scenes, clerks stacked ledgers like sandbags against a rising tide. Quarantine wasn't just an order, it was architecture. Gates dropped, carts stopped. Movement turned into a policy you could see. Some cities built entire islands, lazaretti, to hold ships, cargo, and people until danger passed. Isolation with walls and water. Anchored hulls waited out the clock while officers checked holds and health. Commerce held its breath with the sailors. Warehouses became lungs. Fumigation for goods, fresh air for fabrics, smoky rituals that made risk feel manageable. 40 days, the quarantino, turned fear into a calendar. You don't need certainty when you have a clock. On a door, a chalked cross and a hanging posy said, "Do not enter," and "Here's hope" at the same time. Symbols do double work. Inside, health boards coordinated the machine. Searchers, gravediggers, clerks, ward captains, doctors, each a cog, all turning together. At night, the suit was a shadow with rules. People parted, streets obeyed, notices hammered to wood, orders without words you needed to read. Stay, stop, wait. Public health is choreography. Centuries later, the beak slips from medicine to masquerade. Crafted, painted, sold. The fear fades, the image remains. Because the costume was always more than leather. It was a promise. Someone is in charge. And a warning. Sometimes that someone mostly manages panic. Behind every door left closed, a human cost. We don't see it, but we feel the weight. So when you picture the plague doctor, don't just see a mask. See a contract between fear and order, part medicine, part myth, and very effective at moving bodies through a dangerous city. If you want more history where power wears a costume, subscribe, drop a comment, and tell us what to unmask next.